Hey everybody, Danny Maude here. Thanks for joining us this week. How would you like to stop hitting the ground behind the golf ball? This was the #1 question in my recent chat that I was having with a few of the members of my Facebook group. If you want to come and join, it's completely free. I'll put a link in the description below. But they were getting so frustrated when they were hitting great drives and then they get in the middle of the fairway and then they end up duffing the shot. And they go, Danny, I've seen the videos, I've tried to stop hitting the ground behind the golf ball, but I just can't stop doing it. Well, the problem is there's one thing in your golf swing that if you do not change, no matter how hard you try to stop hitting the ground behind the golf ball, you just won't be able to stop it, all right? So I'm gonna share with you what that one thing is. I'm also gonna give you a cool, simple training aid, how you can generate some speed and some consistency with this. It cost me like £3, which is basically $5. And it's quite cool actually, it's quite simple. So I'm gonna share with you that in this week's training. But if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen one of my videos before, please consider subscribing. Press that little bell button next to the subscribe button. You get notified every time I release a video just like this one. So what are we supposed to be doing at the moment of impact? Well, we want to strike at least the ball first, yeah? We don't want to be striking the ground behind the golf ball, we want to strike the ball first. So let me show you what an impact position should look like first, and then we'll work on how you go about achieving it. So what you'll see first of all with people that don't have a good impact position, they'll tend to their body tends to be quite a long way behind the golf ball. They tend to be quite a lot of flicking their wrists here. The club's going up very quickly. You might even see a little bit of a chicken wing here. Hitting the ground behind the golf ball, as you can imagine, not only can get the ball going off in different directions, it can lose you a stack of power. So with the best ball strikers, the people that are striking the ball incredibly well, they look something like this. Ball position is I've got 7-9 here, just ahead of center. The weight is on the lead side. The lead hip here is out of the way. There's a lean of the shaft here like this. And look at that there. That's the position they're in. There's a lot of weight on this lead foot, not a lot in the trail foot, and that's the position we're in. Now, if you try to stop this, I'm sure you've seen this position numerous times before, but you still can't get into it. And this is the one thing that you're probably doing, which is stopping you. Remember, your body's a genius and it will do anything in its power to make sure that you hit the ball somewhere down the center of the fairway. So the first thing I want you to have a look at is this. Most people who get into this flicky position here and hit the ground behind the golf ball, when they're approaching impact here, this club face is in an open position, right? So what's happening is it's in an open position. What do I mean by that? Well, a square position would be at impact as we're coming into about here. Look at the club face here. That club face is parallel to my spine. Look at my shoulder angle here. That club face needs to be parallel to that. What's happening is if your club face is in this position as it approaches impact, your body's smart. It realizes, look, if you were to try to keep this angle here and try to create this lovely impact position, where's the ball going to go? It's going to fly off to the right, isn't it? Okay, for those right-handers. So your body's smart. It's not going to allow yourself to do that. So what it does instead is it goes, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to do my best now. I'm going to move back a little bit to give yourself time to hit that shot because you need to straighten that club up. And I'm going to flick it a little bit because that's going to help you straighten the club up. And as it does that, it does its best for you. It advances the ball, okay, pretty straight, or straighter than it would have been if you tried to keep your handle ahead. But as a byproduct, you obviously hit the ground behind the golf ball. You might even top it or thin it as well. So unless you fix your club face, unless you get that club face in a better position as it's coming down, your body's not going to allow you to get into this position on the way through. So how do you work on this? Well, first of all, you've got to get used to the club face. You've got to learn to feel it. So there's one thing me saying, look, try and get it there. But if you can't feel this club face, if you have no experience of feeling it, how are you supposed to get there on a regular basis? Well, you do it slowly. What you do is you first of all just make a few swings, and what you do is you start to swing the club backwards and forwards. And if you watched any of my rotational videos, I'll put a link in the description below. You start to get the body working like this, okay? And as it's working like this, backwards and forwards, not in a rolling fashion. We don't want the club rolling away. We get the club working away like this, okay? Now, as it's doing that, you'll notice the club face is parallel to my spine there. It's not rolled this way. So now what I do is I'm going to exaggerate. So I'm actually going to close it even more. So it's probably almost incorrect now. Now from here, watch this. Because it's closed, if you were to flick now, what's going to happen? The ball's going to go left, isn't it? So again, because your body's a genius, what's it going to want to do instead? It's going to want to open up a little bit here, and if anything, keep your handle ahead in order to kind of try and hit it straight. So just as your body's been a genius at doing this, because the club face is closed now, it's going to go, well, I can't, a golf ball like that, it's going to hit it miles over here. It's going to start to kind of try and help you to square it up. So it will do the opposite to what was happening before. So here's how you work on it. You just get a couple of shots. You get to here, and all you're going to do, keep it close and just play a few shots trying to get the ball going nice and straight, in my case, into this net here. So I'm going to swing just about here, there, and all I'm going to do is try and hit it straight. So look at it from this angle. So I've got some rainbow balls, so you can do this in your garden. So I'm just going to hit it against this fence here. Have a look at this. So watch this. I'm just going to swing to here. The face is way down, and all I'm going to do now is this. Look at trying to keep that square. If I was to kind of release it now, the club's going to go miles left. Look at this. Just to here, and then through. Look at that natural. I'm really having to exaggerate this motion just to kind of keep that club face square. Why? My body's clever. Now, this will give you the initial feeling. You could just hit a few shots just doing that. But clearly, that in itself could be a little bit wooden. So what we want to do for them, we want to develop this. We want to add some kind of softness to this. And I've got a cool little training, which I'm going to introduce in a second. But before we do, what I want you to do is this. You can do this with a towel and snapping a towel, but now you've got this feeling, which can take a bit of time, so I'd probably spend a good 15 minutes maybe just working on that motion, hitting some shots. I'm going to put a practice plan in the description below, so if you're on my email list, you're going to get it anywhere. It's completely free of charge, and if you're out on my email list, don't worry, just sign up below. It's completely free, and you get a practice plan with this video as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves set, and what you're going to do now is this. Just like you would if you're throwing a ball, what you want to do is you just want to kind of get this kind of little lag, so there's some softness in this motion. So you've got the feeling of the club face square, and then just watch this. Just move back. It's like a little shiver here. Like you're just snapping it. You could do this with a wet towel, or even better, you could hop off to your local pet store and get one of these. Ever seen one of these before? These are dog ball throwers. I don't even own a dog, but I saw this, thought, well, this could be really cool. First of all, whoops, what do you notice with the angle of this thing? It's this way. Why? Because this, with your lead hand, your hand here, so your trail hand ahead of this, is the most powerful way to throw this ball. They don't put it at this angle, so they know that's how you generate speed. But remember, you can't have this angle unless you've sorted the face out. But get one of these, because what this will do is it will help you then add the speed and the power to this motion. So club face first, speed second. This is how you generate speed. So all I'm going to do now with this thing is I'm simply going to toss this ball into the net. Now the great thing is if I flick it, which just won't make any sense, it's just going to feel weird. So this is just small little swings, just tossing it straight, just getting a sense of what it's like here to toss that. Do that once or twice, and then what you do is you bring in your golf club again. You've been working on your face, so you've got this sensation. Now what you do, watch this, you've got you swap between the two, and you toss it. Watch this. Just to here, and then you just toss it. So you rehearse that once or twice, get that sensation. You go back here, just keep it, really close it down. Really, the more you exaggerate it, almost overdo it, the more you're going to get the body working better, the more the hands are going to be a better place to strike that ball first and not get that horrible flicky motion. So we do it one more time, we get to here, look, and then, now, once you've done that, get your little tool again. Remind the body of the feeling. Again, you can't think about all these things. It happens too quickly. So using drills like this really appeals to the body. It helps you experience the motion without cluttering your head full of a load of stuff. So get yourself set again. Just got it here. Throw. 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 If you're left-handed playing golf right-handed, no problem. Just do it the backhand. Throw. Throw. Look at this position. Throw. Now keep remembering the throwing motion, all this stuff, all that comes second to the club face. you don't sort the club face out, your body will never allow yourself to throw. It just won't do it. So let's just summarize really quickly. How do you start hitting the ground behind the golf ball? Goal number one, don't solve this problem, you won't be able to solve hitting the ground behind the golf ball. Sort the club face out. How do you do this? You get a feel for it initially. You know, spend some time, hold the golf club indoors, get the sensation of where it is, you know, close it down, really get it shut here, and then just feel what it feels like. It'll feel very strange. And then practice just trying to hit a few shots, trying to hit the ball nice and straight. It will feel wooden to start with, no problem, just get a sense of that. Then add a little softness to it and add that motion in, then enhance that motion by buying yourself one of these. These are super cheap, and what a great tool this is to kind of really get that sensation of speed and relaxation with this, okay? And look, I'm going to put a practice plan, like I say, details of the practice plan in the description below. And if you haven't joined my Facebook community and you want to come and join in and start asking some questions, hop on over there too. We have a good time. But if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Maybe come and join the community by subscribing to the channel. But until next week, have a great golfing week.